Ciao a tutti, io sono Veronica, I am Veronica and welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since I last uploaded, but I'm very excited to be here again. As you may notice, the name of the channel is different. It's Dolce Lingua with Veronica. From now on, this place is specifically for English native speakers who want to learn Italian in a fun and practical way. So let's dive in. Today, I want to talk about a very common mistake English native speakers make when speaking Italian. And this mistake is about the use of prendere and portare. Prendere, it means to take. Portare means to bring. But the translation is not always the same in English. So that's why it's very important to learn to think in Italian without translating from English to Italian. So let's see why it's very important to learn what's the difference between these two different verbs. Let's start by looking at the common mistake English native speakers make when speaking Italian. So this is a very useful example. Ogni giorno prendo I bambini a scuola. So if you want to say every day I take my children to school, you can't use prendere because that's the opposite movement. In this case, you have to say ogni giorno porto I bambini a scuola. Portare is when the subject makes the same movement as the object. So the subject and the object of the sentence are moving together towards a place. That's the correct movement. Another common mistake. Alle 4 porto I bambini da scuola. If you want to say at 4 I take my children from school, so I take them out from school, you can't use portare, you have to use prendere. Alle 4 prendo I bambini da scuola. Prendere is used when the subject of the sentence is moving towards the object. Okay, so it's the opposite movement of portare. So to understand the key difference between portare and prendere, we have to understand what's the movement behind these two actions. Mi porti un bicchiere d'acqua, per favore? Here we have portare because the subject is basically moving together with the object of the sentence, which is the glass of water. Will you bring to me a glass of water, please? That's the movement I was talking about. Domani porto mia sorella a scuola. So me is the subject. I'm moving together with the object of the sentence, my sister. So tomorrow I'm taking my sister to school. Puoi prendere quel libro dal tavolo? Can you take that book from the table? So here we have prendere, the opposite movement. The subject of the sentence is you, and the subject is moving towards the object, as you can see in the picture. Prendere, we have the opposite movement of portare. Portare, we have the subject that is moving together with the object of the sentence. Prendere, the subject is moving towards the object of the sentence. So can you take that book from the table? Puoi prendere quel libro dal tavolo? Let's see in one sentence the key difference between prendere and portare. Porto la torta alla festa e lì prendo un bicchiere di vino. So I'm taking the cake to the party and there I will have a glass of wine. Porto la torta, me is the subject. I'm moving together with the object of the sentence, la torta. And prendo, I'm having the glass of wine. So I'm moving towards the object, which is the glass of wine, to take that. That's the key difference between prendere and portare. Portare, it's about moving together with something or someone towards another place or person. That's the meaning of portare. Prendere, it's about you going toward and taking the object person for yourself. So it's the opposite movement of portare. Okay? So portare, I'm moving together with the object of the sentence. Prendere, I am moving towards the object, to take it for me or for another person. Now I want to talk about other situations where I can use portare or prendere with a completely different meaning from the ones that we have seen in the previous sentences. Portare can be used also to talk about wearing clothes. Oggi porto una giacca nuova. Today I'm wearing a new jacket. As you can see here, we can use portare to say to wear. Prendo un caffè al bar. This is very common. It's the same as in English. So I will take a coffee at the bar. I will have a coffee. Ogni mattina prendo l'autobus. So every morning I'm taking the bus. So prendere is used with transportation. So if you want to say to take a type of transport, then you can use prendere. Prendere can be used also to talk about some type of sickness. Ho preso il raffreddore, so I caught the flu or a cold. Here we can use prendere to talk about that. I hope now the difference between prendere and portare is clearer than before. If you want, you can write in the comment some examples with these two verbs in one sentence or two sentences. If you want to see videos similar to this one in the future, remember to subscribe to the channel. And also, if you want to learn more about my method, which is called the Italian Brain Switch, and it's all about learning to think in Italian without translating from English to Italian, remember to use the link down below to download my free ebook. Ci vediamo presto. Ciao!